There comes a moment when someone you trusted, someone you gave your time, your energy, maybe even your heart, turns around and hurts you. Maybe he lied. Maybe he walked away. Maybe he made you feel like you weren't enough, and it stings. But here's what you do. You don't cry in front of him. You don't beg. You don't seek closure. You confuse him. You smile like nothing happened. You show up looking better than ever. You carry yourself like a queen who never lost her crown, because the truth is he expects you to break. He expects you to chase. He expects to see you questioning yourself, but you won't give him that satisfaction. Instead, you'll let your silence speak. You'll let your success answer every doubt he ever planted in your mind. You see, men get confused when a woman they thought they had control over suddenly doesn't need them anymore. When she stops explaining, when she stops reacting, when she stops making them the center of her world, that's when they start questioning everything. Did she ever care? Did I mess up? Why isn't she hurting? That's the power of moving on without looking back. You don't need revenge. You don't need validation. You just need to rise. Become the woman he never thought you could be. Because the best way to handle someone who hurt you is not to fight for their attention, it's to make them realize they were never needed in the first place. Let him wonder. Let him regret. But you keep winning. Keep glowing, keep walking forward like you were never stopped, because you weren't. When someone hurts you, the first thing they expect is a reaction. They expect you to cry, to call, to beg for an explanation. They expect anger, sadness, or desperation. That's where they find their power, when they know they've affected you. But when you give them nothing, that's when you take all that power back. Silence is louder than any argument. Indifference is more unsettling than any confrontation. When he sees that his words, his actions, his absence don't shake you, he starts questioning himself. He starts wondering if he ever really mattered. If he ever really had control over your emotions the way he thought he did. Staying unbothered doesn't mean you don't feel anything. It means you don't show it to the person who wants to see you weak. It means you process your emotions on your own terms without giving them the satisfaction of knowing they got to you. It means you keep your head high, your energy untouched, and your confidence intact. People who hurt others thrive on reaction. They feed off knowing they've left an impact. But nothing confuses them more than a woman who refuses to give them that satisfaction. A woman who moves on so effortlessly that they start questioning if they ever mattered at all. When someone expects you to crumble, the best response is to rise. When they expect you to break, the most powerful thing you can do is build. They thought their absence would leave you lost. Their betrayal would make you doubt yourself. Their words would echo in your mind, but instead you use every bit of it as fuel to become stronger, wiser, and more unstoppable than ever before. A glow up isn't just about looking better. It's about becoming better in every possible way. It's about walking into a room with a presence so undeniable that they have no choice but to notice. It's about turning pain into power, heartbreak into hunger, and rejection into redirection. It's about making them regret ever thinking you needed them to shine. The most confusing thing for a man who hurt you is realizing that he did nothing but push you towards your best self. When he sees you happier, healthier, and glowing in a way he never imagined, he starts to wonder, was he the problem? Did he hold you back? Did you ever really need him at all? The truth is, some people expect you to stay stuck. They expect you to dwell in the past, to let their absence define you. But when you take that pain and turn it into motivation, you become untouchable. You don't just move on, you elevate. And that is the kind of transformation no one sees coming. Confidence is the one thing they can't take from you unless you hand it over. When a man hurts you, he expects to see you doubt yourself. He expects you to shrink, to question your worth, to lose that fire in your eyes. But when you move with confidence, when you hold your head high, speak with certainty, and carry yourself like nothing has changed, that's when the confusion begins. He thought he broke you, but here you are standing taller than ever. He thought his absence would make you feel small, but instead you walk into every room like you own it. He expected hesitation, second guessing, and insecurity, but all he sees is a woman who knows exactly who she is and what she deserves. Confidence isn't about pretending you're okay. It's about knowing you'll be okay no matter what. It's about understanding that your value isn't tied to someone else's actions, and your worth isn't defined by their treatment of you. When you walk with that kind of self-assurance, it sends a message louder than any words ever could. You were never the source of my strength, and I refuse to let you be the reason for my weakness. And the moment he realizes that, the moment he sees that his absence didn't leave a void, but instead created space for you to become even greater, that's when he starts to question everything. Because nothing confuses a man more than a woman who refuses to be broken. Emotional reactions are what he expects. He expects tears, anger, late night texts filled with questions he doesn't deserve answers to. He expects you to lash out, to beg for closure, to show him that he still has a hold on you. But when you give him nothing, when you refuse to engage in the drama he created, that's when he starts to feel the very thing he wanted you to feel: powerless. A man who hurts you isn't always looking for your pain. Sometimes he's looking for proof that he mattered. He wants to see you react because to him, reaction means he still has influence over your emotions. So the moment you stop responding, the moment you stop explaining, the moment you stop letting him see any trace of hurt, that's when he realizes he has no control over you anymore. Silence speaks louder than any argument. Indifference hits harder than any insult. When he can't predict your next move, when he doesn't know if you're hurting or if you've already forgotten him, that's when the confusion sets in. Because nothing leaves a man more unsettled than realizing the woman he expected to be shattered is the one who walked away without a single crack. There is nothing more unsettling to someone who hurt you than seeing you thrive without them. He expected you to fall apart, to struggle, to spend your days drowning in what ifs and memories. He thought his absence would leave a gap so big that you wouldn't know how to fill it. But instead, you step into your best life as if he was never a necessary part of it. You don't post cryptic messages. You don't look for ways to remind him you exist. You don't seek revenge because success is enough. You focus on yourself, your growth, your happiness, your goals. You become so busy building your life that his role in it fades into something irrelevant. And when he finally looks back expecting to see you waiting, all he finds is a woman who has already moved forward. The moment he sees you laughing, glowing, and living without hesitation, the questions start flooding his mind. How did she move on so fast? Was I ever that important to her? Did I actually lose something great? He thought leaving you behind would be his choice, but the real power shift happens when he realizes that you've outgrown him and there's no place for him in the life you're creating. Mystery is powerful. When a man hurts you, he expects to have access to your emotions, whether it's through your reactions, your words, or even your silence filled with meaning. He wants to know what you're thinking, if you're hurting, if you're still wondering about him. But when you move in silence, when you don't explain, when you don't give him a single clue about what's on your mind, that's when the real confusion begins. You don't post about your pain. You don't drop hints about your next move. You don't let him know if you've forgiven, forgotten, or simply stopped caring. Instead, you live in a way that keeps him guessing. You become unpredictable. He thought he had you figured out, but now he's left questioning everything. Mystery forces him to wonder. It makes him overthink. He starts replaying the past, searching for answers in places you've already moved on from. And while he's busy trying to solve a puzzle that no longer exists, you're already 10 steps ahead, creating a life so full and complete that he realizes too late that he no longer fits into it. Nothing is more powerful than turning pain into purpose. When a man hurts you, he expects you to dwell in it, to let the pain consume you, to let it break you. But when you take that pain and use it as fuel, when you channel every ounce of hurt into building something extraordinary, that's when the confusion begins. He thought he took something from you, but instead, he gave you the drive to become unstoppable. He thought he left you weaker, but instead you use the lessons to become stronger. Instead of letting heartbreak hold you back, you let it push you forward into success, into growth, into the kind of transformation that makes him unrecognizable in your new world. Success is the kind of revenge that doesn't require words. It's the kind that doesn't just prove him wrong. It makes him irrelevant. When he sees you thriving, when he watches you achieve things he never thought you could, when he realizes he was just a stepping stone in your journey, that's when the regret starts to creep in. Because the truth is, he expected to leave a mark on you, but he never expected you to turn that mark into the very thing that made you unstoppable. The biggest power move you can make is never looking back. When a man hurts you, he expects you to linger in the past, to replay the memories, to hold on to hope that maybe, just maybe, he'll come back. But when you walk away without hesitation, without waiting, without checking, without caring, that's when the confusion sets in. He thought he had time to figure things out, time to see if you'd still be there, time to play his games and come back when it was convenient for him. But the moment he realizes that you've already closed the door, that you aren't waiting, that you aren't hoping, that you aren't looking for answers, that's when he starts questioning everything. No calls, no texts, no explanations. Just a woman who is so focused on her future that her past holds no power over her. That's what shakes him the most. Not your anger, not your sadness, but your complete indifference. Because when a woman truly moves on, when she stops checking if he's watching, that's the moment he realizes he lost something he'll never get back. At the end of the day, the greatest response to someone who hurt you is not anger, not revenge, not even words. It's your transformation. It's becoming the version of yourself that no longer looks back, no longer needs closure, no longer waits for an apology that may never come. When you choose to rise instead of react, to grow instead of grieve, to elevate instead of engage, that's when the power shifts. Because the truth is, you were never the one who lost anything. He was. And by the time he realizes it, you'll be so far ahead that looking back won't even be an option.